Yes, the shaitan was fall into error and make us not plan properly, because in Ramadan, the shaitan will be changed. In Ramadan, the shaitan will be changed. So this is the time he works more seriously, with serious effort, to ensure that Ramadan, our Ramadan does not become successful. Because this is when the righteous people plan for Ramadan. Now, let us see what the scholars have given us and how they have, advised us to prepare in the month of Sha'ban. If you pay attention very well, you notice that every year, just before Ramadan, there is always something that distracts us. The shaitan distracts us with some insignificant matters, petty arguments, unnecessary, quarrels, distractions, pointless, distraction and the likes. Because the shaitan himself knows that if you woke up now, anytime you wake after this month, if you sleep and wake up, you are entering Ramadan. And when Ramadan enters, you will be changed, and you will have the time and liberty to do a lot of good that you can do. So it comes now. Sometimes some things that happen to us in Shaban affect us in Ramadan. Sometimes we will use our hand to do something that will continue to eat us emotionally. That when we get to Ramadan, we cannot, perform as well as we are supposed to in Ramadan. Why? Because we have already, the shaitan has persuaded us to commit the sins that are now hurting us in Ramadan. Some persons will, the shaitan will push them to commit zina in Shaban. So when Ramadan comes, you see that they are not stable, their minds are not stable, they are worried, they are bothered about what they have done. And they begin to ask themselves, oh, should I go to the mosque to go and even pray? How can I? Because this is one thing the shaitan does. It makes you to commit a sin, and then it leaves you with the worries. He again comes to you and begins to give you waswas. To say, look, you will go do this one, and you call the stand, Allah Akbar, how God wants to answer you. Well, this is true. This is very true. Some of us have experienced that firsthand, and from our relations with people and interacting with people, we have heard so many things like this. The shaitan comes to you and say, "No, be you go do this one just now. No, be you go touch woman just now. Now that's saying how you want to carry Quran now." And you find yourself dropping the Quran back. So no. My fair last 40 days reach. Might wash his hand well. But this is just the shaitan messing with you, making you think that you're not worthy of holding the Quran, making you think that hand cannot touch your prayer mat, because you are praying to Allah. So Allah is in front of you. How can you go and touch the prayer mat where Allah is going to stand? Blah, blah, blah. This is the shaitan messing with our minds. Nothing like that. Allah does not stand in front of you. Allah is not physically present. The prayer mat is your prayer mat. There is nothing special. Some person will tell you after you finish praying, whether you say don't fold the mat or fold the mat, right? So that the angels, some say don't fold it so the angels can pray on it. Some will tell you fold it because the shaitan will come and pray on it. I say, where are we getting all these ideas from? They are not from the Quran. They are not from the Sunnah. Where are we getting them from? The shaitan is just messing with people. I've seen somebody who told me, when you make ablution, ensure after your wudu, ensure you go and fetch water and put it in the kettle and keep it. I said, why? Say so that when the angels want to pray, they can see something to use to. I say, angels want to pray? This is very funny, Olai. It's very funny. At the same time, it's painful that some persons can allow themselves to be used by the devil. You were told that what? And what's the reason? Who says there was when did the prophets use a kettle for ablution? Okay. So where did the sunnah come from? That's the point. That's the point. Did the prophet have used this kettle we are using, this rubber kettle we are using? Did the prophet use it? Was that what he used? They used to use water skins. They used to have, sometimes they used to fetch. Were there not times when there was droughts in Saudi, in Medina, there was no water to make ablution, to even drink? Were there not times like that? There were times that there's water to drink, but it's not enough to drink and make ablution. So they will drink the water and do tayammum, do dry ablution. So where did they see the water skin they used to make ablution are the same water skin they used to drink from? So everybody has his water skin, right? I want to make ablution, I turn from it. Sometimes I use a bucket, maybe a wooden bucket or something. So this one is it's a recent matter. It is the shaitan messing with our minds. You see persons with all the name of being a mu'alim, being a teacher, you see them. No, don't. Perhaps they want to try to make you feel, perhaps they want to try to achieve a situation whereby you leave water in the kettle for cases of emergencies. A person can just be running from outside now, feeling very pressed, right? And he has to go to the toilet, so he has to get water, quickly rush to the toilet. Okay, the teacher says, we're in a school setting, or this is a mosque. When you use water, ensure you fetch water and put again in case of emergency purpose, things like that. Okay, no problem. But for you to say it is prophetic, it's a sunnah. If you do this, you have a reward. If you don't do this, you go to hellfire. This is not acceptable. This is where our teachers are getting it wrong. Some of our, local teachers, may Allah forgive them and bless them and increase them in knowledge and understanding. And those who are passed away, may Allah forgive them. This is where they got it wrong. Bringing in new things into the religion just to prove a point. Fine, we know what eating watermelon is good. But a seller will not put watermelon in his hand and say, Prophet say, whoever eats watermelon will go to paradise. Is that still good? That is not good. We know it is from the sunnah to use what's it called, date, to eat dates, But somebody cannot come and say, because I'm selling dates, I start telling you, if you eat dates every Friday, you will have good memory. If you eat dates every Wednesday, you will give birth to beautiful children. Where did I get that from? Just to make me sell my business? This is from the shaitan. This is from the shaitan. This was what. So we must avoid all of these waswas from the shaitan. We must avoid all of them, and we must pray to Allah to help us to avoid them. Allah make it easy for us. So it's important that we do not allow the shaitan to mess with our minds and to distract us from doing act of worship. You may have committed a sin, yes. Do you know what the Prophet said? He said, Kullu bani Adam, all the children of Adam are what? Are khatta'in, right? All of them are sinners. Wa khayru khatta'ina at-tawwabin. The best of the sinners are what? Are those who repent. At-tawwabin, those who come back. I say, Allah, I have erred, please forgive me. They repent. They don't have to slaughter a cow, a goat, a ram, whatever. No. They come to Allah with sincerity and clear heart and say, Allah, I have erred. Please have mercy on me. And they are forgiven. Was that not what Adam did? Adam told Allah after he sinned. He sinned, he directly disobeyed Allah's instruction. Allah says, La taqaraba hadhihi shajaratan. If you do that, you'll be among the zalimin. Allah told him, don't go close to this tree, else you will be a zalim. You will be an evildoer, a wrongdoer if you do this. You'll be a sinner. But what happened? The shaitan came to them and both of them ate from the fruit. After eating, Allah, drove them out of paradise. Yet he met Allah. He cried to Allah. What did he say? Rabbana, Rabbana, inna zalamna anfusana. Wa illam taghfir lana tarhamna lanakuna minal khasirin. Allah, we have wronged ourselves. Right? We have wronged ourselves. My wife and I. It was not the wife who ate the fruit first, or Adam that ate the fruit first. Allah said both of them ate the fruit. So he met Allah say, Rabbana inna zalamna. We have wronged ourselves. Zalamna anfusana, we have wronged our own selves. But if you do not have mercy on us and forgive us, we will surely be among the khasirin. The losers. We will surely lose from your mercy, from your paradise, from your favors. We will surely lose if you do not have mercy on us. What Allah says in Al-Baqarah? Allah forgive them. Allah forgive them. So who are we to judge today and say, no, they did this. It is Adam's fault. It is his fault. It is this. No. Allah forgave them already. So what we are doing now is in our hands. We cannot blame it on Adam or Hawa. In our hands. So by implication, everybody sins. Everybody sins. And the hadith says the best of the sinners are the tawabin, those who are always constantly repenting. This is what the Prophet said, not me. So you commit a sin, khalas, no problem. It is wrong, it is bad, it is odious, it is reprehensible, it's even punishable, that's true. We cannot cover it. It's bad, right? But after doing that, what do? Go back to Allah. Go back to Allah. Do you know what the Prophet said? He said, Allah, he asked the companions a question. He said, if someone of you loses your sheep, you have a flock of sheep, then you lost one of them, right? And then after some time, you see that sheep, how will you feel? What kind of joy will be in you? They say, it will feel very joyful, happy, and all of that. The Prophet said, Allah is more joyful when a servant returns back to him than any one of you who lost his sheep and found his sheep later. Allah is more joyful. Allah is more happy. My servant has come back to me. He realizes that I am Atawab. He knows I am Al-Ghafur, Al-Ghaffar. He knows I am Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. He knows I am Ar-Ra'uf. He knows I am loving. I am Al-Wadud. He knows I am generous. So he comes back to me and seeks my generosity in forgiveness. He seeks my generosity in mercy. He seeks my generosity in favor and grace. So I pardon him. He asked me to pardon him, so I pardon him. This is what, so Allah answered the supplications and the tawbah of anybody he likes. He doesn't need anybody to tell him, my own you go accept. No. You repent to Allah, it is now upon Allah to accept it. But all you need to do is to repent. And don't allow the devil to make you feel that Allah has not accepted your repentance. No, this is from the devil. This is from the devil to make you think that Allah don't accept them. So you see some persons will become self-tormented. The shaitan will begin to torment their brains and they begin to think and get worried and bother themselves so much that they start falling short of their acts of worship. When they want to pray, the shaitan will come to their mind and dissuade them so they don't pray. They want to read the Quran, they don't read again. They are unable to stand and read the Quran because they are scared. Did Allah forgive me? What if Allah did not forgive me? And you see them crying. They are sincerely crying, but they are not praying. They are not reading the Quran. They are not fasting. Because the devil is messing with their minds. What will happen at the end of the day? They will die in that state. What is the case of a person who does not pray? There is no difference between him and a kafir. He's a kafir. You don't pray, you are a kafir. Some of the scholars now said, okay, if you don't pray, but you don't believe that prayer is not compulsory, meaning you believe that prayer is compulsory, obligatory, but yet you don't pray, you are not a kafir, you are a sinner. Okay, they are trying to be on a lighter note. Others now said, if you don't pray, and yet you don't believe that it is obligatory, you are a complete kafir. Yeah, but some others say, whether you believe it's obligatory or not, if you don't pray, when you are able to pray, you have the energy, you are well, you are not unconscious, you are not insane, you have sanity. You are not a child who is not a mukallaf, on whom prayer is not obligatory. If you are not praying and you are in a good condition, you are a kafir. That's what they say. Not me. I'm not a scholar. I'm only quoting what the scholars have said. Okay? So, by implication, you now say the devil messes up with the people so much so that, they begin to lose track of their prayers, their qiyam, their Quran, their other goods. They begin to stop doing them because of one sin that the shaitan made them to commit, and the same shaitan telling them or making them feel bad, so much so that they stop doing all these acts of worship. So don't allow the devil to mess with you like this. Don't allow the devil to come to you like this and to mess with you. So the shaitan comes to you and gives you problems in Sha'ban sometimes. So you do those problems, you fight, you kill somebody, you do zina, you commit fornication or adultery, you do something bad, and that thing continue to eat you till you enter Ramadan. So in Ramadan, you begin to lose focus. You don't do the ibadah as much as you're supposed to do. And the shaitan comes to people, those who are old and young, men and women, knowledgeable and not knowledgeable. Allah, it comes to everybody. In fact, it goes even more to those who are serious servants of Allah, who are striving to become better, who are doing jihad. You know, let me do this, let me try to learn the Quran, let me try to do it. It comes to you because it sees that you are a mujahid. He wants to dissuade you, to tell you just a waste of time. Oh. Shouldn't you do this one that day? If your stars here say you do this one, how you go to they look you? So all these are ways Shaitan comes to us to make us stop doing those good deeds. But we must be stronger than him. Allah make it easy for us. So if you must enter Ramadan with strength, spiritual strength and devotion, then you must ensure that you do not give in to the whims and desires of the devil. You must first suppress your own whims and desires. Allah says, وَمَنْ يُقَشُحَ نَفْسِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Whoever is able to overcome himself, overpower his nafs, the evil of your own self, the waswas, desires of yourself, whoever is able to suppress them and win over himself, then such a person is successful. So the first point of action is to win over the devil in you. Everybody has evil in them. The Prophet used to say, وَنَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ شُرُورِ أَنفُسِنَا. We seek Allah's protection against the evil of our own souls. That was a part of his muqaddimah. So as a result, we know that we should always strive, fight to ensure that we overpower the evil of ourselves. The shaitan, the devil that follows us. Because everybody has a natural inclination towards evil. Everybody does. Everybody has that gene, that shaitan that pushes him to do evil, to commit sin, to do that thing, do it. But we must be able to overcome it. If you're able to overcome it, Allah says, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Then you are successful. So we must suppress this. We must not let the devil win in this regard. You must rise with a strong intention. You must take a step closer to Allah. Focus on your worship and protect your heart. The heart is one of the areas, the shaitan wants to tackle, wants to damage. Once it damages your heart, that is all. So you must not give the shaitan the opportunity to do that. You must take care of your heart, take care of, some of us, we allow the devil to come to us anytime, any day. Right? And we allow the devil to make us believe that certain things are not forbidden. Yes. Our young men and young women. We allow the devil to make us think that certain things are not forbidden. We say, Islam says, don't do courtship. Don't engage in boyfriending and girlfriending. And start hearing things like, I will continue marry now. How do you marry? Ustaz, you don't do it to marry. This is the shaitan talking to us. This is the devil talking to us. That yes, we have to do this. We not do I want to marry. But this is not correct. So the devil comes to you and makes you think that this is correct. Do it. Go ahead. Don't let anybody stop you. It's fine. Go ahead. Do it. And then you enter into it. You start doing it. What's going on? The shaitan is not trying to mess with your heart. You see some person will tell you, 20 years old, they have had more than 5 breakups. More than 5 heartbreaks. Before 25, their hearts will become scattered. Nothing in it again. Men and women. By 25, they have become stiff. Nothing is going in, nothing is coming out. It has been shattered completely. Why are we allowing the devil to play with us like this? You must be strong. You must be stronger than the devil himself. So don't think that all of these things are normal things. Otherwise, you give the devil a chance to mess with your heart. And remember that these days of Sha'ban are precious. Don't waste them. Don't waste them. They are the days that precede the days of Ramadan. The ninth in Sha'ban are nights that precede the ninth of Ramadan. Do not waste any time of, any time of the day of the night. Make good use of them. Wake up, read the Quran at night, observe Qiyamul Layl. Even if it is 1 rak'ah, you can observe. This is okay. If it is 2 rak'ah, you can observe. This is okay. If there's 3 rak'ah, you can observe. This is fine. Observe Salah. Get up, read the Quran. The Quran is better. Those of you who are doing memorization, let me tell you now, the best time to memorize is at night. That's the best time to memorize. You understand? The best time to memorize is at night. That's why Allah uses it to describe the believers in the Quran, those who recite the Quran at night. That is the best time to memorize. And also to use the Quran to do your Qiyamul Layl, what you have memorized. If you use it to observe your Salah, wallahi, you will not forget. Wallahi, you will not forget. This is from a first-hand experience, and of course from teaching of the scholars of Islam, that if you are memorizing the Quran and you are using it to observe your Salah, especially the ninth prayer, then you will not forget your memorization. But a situation whereby you don't observe your Salah at night, you don't wake up at night, you don't do anything, you just read in the afternoon, and that's all, you may not be able to memorize better. So if you want your memorization to be better, more efficient, stronger, then you must ensure that you are always observing Qiyamul Layl at night. It doesn't have to be too many rakats. It can be just 1 rakat or 2 rakats. It's fine. Start with something. Don't overburden yourself. This is how that way the devil comes to us. It makes you start doing too many things at the same time. I'll go observe Qiyamul Layl. I will do 10 rakats. It's too much. You will get tired. Tomorrow you don't have to get up. Do something that your conscience can allow you to continue doing. Just 2 rakah is fine. Don't think it's too small. No, it's not too small. The Prophet said Allah loves what you do that is small but consistent. It's small. Allah prefers that or loves that more than the big ones you do that are not consistent. So the small ones are doing that consistent, khalas. They're not too small. Read 1 rakah a day is fine. 1 rakah in a day is one verse of the Quran in a day is fine. Read 1 verse, it's okay. It's not too small. 2 verses, it's okay. It's not too small. But don't overburden yourself. Start with something little. This is how you can win the shaitan. So let's not joke with these days. Like we said before, they are very, very precious days. And they are days that the shaitan doesn't want us to utilize. Therefore, we must, against all odds, utilize these days and must realize that there are no other days better than these days. Now, what are the things that we need to start doing, perhaps, in order to prepare, for Ramadan? What are the things that we need to start doing in this month of Sha'ban in order to prepare for Ramadan? One of the things that we should start doing is fasting. And this is evident from the hadith we have quoted since, that Aisha said, radiallahu anha, that Allah's Messenger, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, used to fast, a lot in Sha'ban. And there is no other month in the year that he would fast as much as he would fast in Ramadan, in Sha'ban, right? Even if he doesn't fast the whole month, but he used to fast more in Sha'ban than in any other month of the year, So this is in accordance with the hadith. So it's a sunnah that we fast a lot in Ramadan, because this is something that that precedes, still a period precedes the month of Ramadan, like I have mentioned before. Yes, even if you are not owing any fast at all, even if you are not owing any fast, voluntary fast. The one the Prophet used to pray were not the one he was owing. They're all voluntary. So voluntary fast, you should fast a lot of them, in Sha'ban. Now, Usama bin Zayd, radiallahu anhuma, once told the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Ya Rasulullah ﷺ, I have not seen you fasting in any other month than, or like the way you fast in Sha'ban. I've never seen you fast in any other month like the way you fast in the month of Sha'ban. And he said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that this is a month, to which people do not pay attention. People don't pay attention to this particular month, and it is a month between Rajab and Ramadan. And it is a month in which our deeds are lifted up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said, I like for my deeds to be taken to Allah while I am in a state of fasting. So, like I mentioned before, fasting in Sha'ban is better than fasting in any other month, even the sacred months. Because we have sacred months in Islam. So fasting in Sha'ban is better than even fasting in those sacred months. The status of these fasts of Sha'ban is like the prayers that precede, the voluntary prayer that precede the obligatory prayers. And all of these we have explained already. Now, when the Prophet said Sha'ban is a month to which people do not pay attention, it indicates that because it comes between two important months, people don't usually pay attention, to it. And we said there is a lot of virtue in times, right? In times, that people do not pay attention to. Now, some of the Salaf used to fill the time of Maghrib and Isha with a lot of Nawafil. Some of the scholars of the past, they used to pray a lot of Nawafil prayers between Maghrib and Isha. Why? When they were asked, they said this is a time that people neglect, that people don't usually take Ibadah serious, so they used to do it. This is not to say that it is from the Sunnah that you should do a lot of Nawafil after Maghrib and Isha, between Maghrib and Isha. But we are saying that there is virtue. The scholars have all agreed there's virtue in time that people don't usually take serious, time that people don't pay attention to. Like after Maghrib now, in many places, in many localities, you find after Maghrib, people go and take their dinner and come back for Isha. You understand? Which is not a wrong act anyway. So you see that people don't, pay attention to acts of worship during that time. So some of these Salaf, they used to take that time to do a lot of Ibadah because people neglect it. So when you are doing something of good at a time that other people are also doing it, then it may not be something different. Like it may not be unique. Okay, everybody is fasting, so I'm fasting. Everybody is praying, I'm praying. But when I am fasting when nobody is fasting, or I am praying when nobody is praying, everybody is sleeping, then it becomes something outstanding. Right? It becomes unique. So this is what the Salaf, used to do. Now, again, it's also another thing that the scholars used to do, is to do zikr in a place like the marketplace. A marketplace is a place that is full of transactions. People are busy buying and selling. Nobody has time to think of ibadah. Nobody has time to think of dhikr, of praising Allah. So when you are in the market and you are doing dhikr, you are doing something different from the people at that time, which is something good. Okay? So that is also one of the times that is neglected that people can also use for, benefit. So like we said, there are a lot of benefits that come from making good use of times, when people are often negligent and using these times for worship, such as when one conceals, one of the reasons, is it is more concealing of one's good work, and hiding and concealing voluntary actions is better, especially fasting, or any other act of worship. When you do any act of worship at times when people do not expect you to do it, then it is more rewarding, because sometimes at that time you tend to have more khushu', more consciousness that you are doing this for the sake of Allah and not for any other person. Okay? So your level of iman, your level of ikhlas, sincerity, might just shoot up a bit when you are doing this at the time when nobody is. But if you are praying, everybody is praying, let me go and pray. Your level of sincerity might not be too much. Even show off my set in. Yes, let people say that I'm praying because it's prayer time. Let me lock my shop. Let people say, this place is a good Muslim. Things like that. So there might be some level of show off, some level of riyah, which is not good, which is shirk, tantamount to shirk. But when you are doing it at a time when nobody is expecting to do it, you tend to conceal it, you tend to make it only for you, between you and Allah alone, So your level of sincerity tends to increase because you are not following the crowd, you are doing it on your own. So your level of sincerity tends to increase. Your level of ikhlas, your level of khushu, consciousness, and all of that tend to increase, especially when it comes to fasting, because fasting is for Allah. Fasting is between you and Allah. As for prayer now, for example, you know who prays and who does not pray. If we are coming to the mosque, all of us are always praying in the mosque. I know the one who came to pray, I know the one who come to pray. So I can say, oh, this person did not pray today, or he didn't come to the mosque today, things like that. But as for fasting, you don't know who is fasting and who is not fasting. Even if you are standing together, even if you took sahur together, you don't know if he's still fasting or not. You understand? And what about if you don't even stay in the same house? You don't know who is fasting or not. So fasting is between the servant and Allah. So that particular act of worship, if you are doing it in any other time aside Ramadan, then it is a very virtuous act, because it's something that is difficult to do, and it's only Allah knows that you are doing it, unless you proclaim it. Unless you start announcing, I'm fasting. And that's why a fasting person should not make people know that he's fasting. The scholars used to say that a fasting person should put perfume, the man should put perfume and scent and all of that to make him look very beautiful, fine, attractive, smell good, so that he does not even have any trace of fasting. Because sometimes you see that a fasting person will not brush. It's very common. Person is fasting, will not brush. His mouth starts smelling. And you know that normally if you are fasting, if you brush, your mouth has the tendency to have an odor, because you refrain from talking too much. You don't have the strength to talk too much, so you don't talk too much, right? You refrain from eating, you don't eat. And one of the things that moisturize the mouth, the tongue, and the oral cavity is food and water. So you don't drink, you don't eat, yet you are just staying. You are open, you are awake. So what happens? Your mouth has a tendency to have a smell. Your mouth will smell. You do not you are dehydrated. There's no water in the system to flush all those odor and all of that. You have a tendency to have a smell from your mouth. You understand? So all of these things, all of these are the reason why a fasting person must have a mouth that smells. That is if you brush. What about if you don't brush? You don't brush out of laziness sometimes. So it becomes obvious that it's fasting. Because we say, the Prophet said, the smell of the mouth of a fasting person is better than musk. Than the smell of musk. Musk was the best form of scent, perfume in the Arabian Peninsula. So he said that the smell in the mouth of a fasting person is better in the sight of Allah than the smell of musk. So because that, some persons will not brush. And remember that during fasting, you can also fall asleep. When you sleep and wake up, your mouth will smell. So some persons will not even brush at all. And when you ask, I'm fasting. That this is not, your fasting is for you and Allah, not for me to know. That is why you should not be fasting and you start sleeping all through. Do your normal job, do your normal daily duties, work as normal. I will not have the energy. That's correct. That is the essence of fasting. To reduce some kind of things, for your body to feel free, feel light. Do your act of your normal daily businesses if you can. But if you say, okay, in Ramadan, I want to face Ibadah, I want to lock my business, no problem. This is your own personal, whatever. It is not new. So you can do that. But when it comes to you saying, be looking very lazy, drowsy, walking lazily, drawing your feet on the ground because you are fasting, it's not something that is recommended at all. You want to make it easy for us. So the fasting person must ensure, that they do not allow the devil to come to them, and do not allow fatigue to overtake them. Do all your duties as usual, as you used to do. And of course, the fasting that you are fasting will not hinder you, inshallah. And this also indicates that we should not always announce all our acts of worship, so people know that we are doing a particular thing. You want to go and pray, you tell your whole neighborhood that you want to go and pray, which is not something bad. If it's a compulsory prayer, or if it's a voluntary prayer, it's between you and Allah. If it's a voluntary fast, it's between you and Allah. Leave it between you and Allah. Don't begin to announce it So everybody knows that you are fasting, you are doing a particular voluntary prayer. But that make it easy for us. Now, so some of the solar fasts you said used to fast sometimes without people knowing that you are fasting. Now, in the same way, doing righteous deeds at times when people are distracted and negligent is more difficult. I hope you know that. Doing righteous deeds at times when people are distracted, like people are in the mosque, in the market selling, you are doing dhikr. People are sleeping, you are getting out without solar. Everybody's eating, you want to fast. When you are doing something at a time when nobody is doing it, it becomes more difficult. Unlike when everybody is doing it. When it's Ramadan, for example, everybody is fasting, so it's easier to fast at that time. But when you are doing it at a time when nobody is doing, like in Shaban, when people are preparing for Ramadan, people are trying to see how they can eat everything they need to eat now. Ramadan time, person will see chance they eat let me eat everything now. Eat pawpaw, eat orange, eat cashew, everything you want to eat. Some of us, when we are fasting, our fasting is like feasting. We are fasting as if we are feasting. And now people say, Ramadan is coming, we don't have food, we don't have provision. What do we do in Ramadan? I begin to wonder, is Ramadan supposed to be a period people are bothering about food, or a period that people are happy and they are able to stay without food? This is what Ramadan is for. But some of us, our Ramadan, our fasting is a period of feasting. When it's time to break the fast, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. You will see one person will take pap, one person will take akara, one person will take moimoi, the same person will take all sort of food. Then they will now pound and wait for the following morning. The following morning, they take pounded yam, they take fufu. They will now put bread and tea on top to marinate it. Only though, if you see kind of food people eat during Ramadan, you will think they are not going there. People don't understand that the more you eat, the weaker you become. You don't know? You think the more you eat, that's how you have enough energy. There were times I used to fast without eating anything except water. Like throughout the month of Ramadan, almost throughout, maybe for like 20 days, 15 days, fasting without food except water. Sometimes we just snacks in the morning. And you'll be healthy. You will be healthy. You will see yourself take milk in the morning, take some dates, and see how energetic your day will be. You don't have to swallow dangerous, strong things before you have the energy for the day's activities. Okay? Eat the normal food you used to eat. This time around, it's even going to be reduced because I'm not going to eat in the daytime. It's just in the morning. It's something light in the morning. In the evening, do similar thing. Not that during fasting, some persons will be growing fat. And when you ask them, this is your fasting guy, you just a fat head, man. Allah. Don't be Allah, now your food don't you eat. So some people eat more in Ramadan than they eat outside Ramadan. When you ask them, they say, Allah. This one not be Allah, this one are you. Now your food. Okay? Now your food. You are eating too much, especially in Ramadan, when you are supposed to go hungry. What is not the essence of Ramadan? Fasting is to make you go hungry and see the pain in hunger. That is what Ramadan is meant for. To remove all the yama in your system, to filter and remove all those things in your system. That's why you are fasting. To burn all those yama things. But you will not start taking fufu in the morning, take pounded yam also. You now do toasted bread, put Titus and bama, slice, cut carrot, cabbage, put boiled egg, in one corner of you now marinate everything and toast and eat and put one nice tea. You now put Fanta in front of the tea. Okay. Then in the evening, only Allah knows how to describe what some persons eat. All in the name of fasting. Then day of Eid, that one is even a day of merriment. So no problem. Eat. As long as you know that after that day, there's also a life. So if you like, eat your 1 year savings that day. That's your cup of tea. So Ramadan is supposed to be pure for us to fast and to go hungry, not the pure for us to feast. Allah Musta'an. So, like we said, at a time when people are distracted, acts of worship are usually difficult to do. One of the indications of how these, of how virtuous, such deeds are, is how difficult it is. Yes, this is one of the ways you should know, this thing will good, though, because you know that it is difficult to do. And all good things are difficult to achieve. It's difficult to fast when nobody is fasting. You understand? So that's an indication to prove that that act is a virtuous act and it has a lot of rewards in it. Now, if it was to be easy, right, that most people are able to do it, then it will not be as virtuous as it will be if it's not easy. Okay? Now, look at what the Prophet said in the hadith. He says, worship at times of tribulation, at times of problems, of fitna, is like hydra to me. It's like hydra. It's like migrating. You know the reward of migrating for those migrating from Makkah to Medina? Their sins were forgiven entirely. And most of them are going to be Allah mentioned it in the Quran, Muhajirun. Allah mentioned it in the Quran. So you doing acts of worship at times of difficulty, when it's very difficult, yet you are doing it. The process is like hijrah to him. Now, we have also mentioned the reasons why the Prophet used to fast, right? And all these are known, of course. Another benefit of fasting in Sha'ban is that it is a kind of training now for the Ramadan fast. In case a person finds it difficult to fast in Ramadan, fasting in Sha'ban trains the body for Ramadan. Now, fasting at the end of Sha'ban. Fasting at the end of Sha'ban. It was reported that the Prophet Muhammad said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he told a man, he asked a man rather, have you fasted anything of the sirar of this month? Have you fasted anything from this month at all? The man said no. Therefore, he said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, if you have not fasted at all, then fast just 2 days. Meaning, at all, just fast 2 days if you have not fasted at all. According to another report, it is said that I think he meant Ramadan, talking about the month of Ramadan. Now, some of the scholars have said the word sirar in this hadith refers to the end of the month. Okay, so the end of the month, the Prophet, if that is the case, then it is regarded as it being the end of the month of Sha'ban or any other month. But in that particular month, some scholars said it was Sha'ban and some said it was Ramadan. But most likely Sha'ban, because Ramadan is a month of compulsory fast where everybody fasts. However, there's another hadith that says one should not fast at the end of the month of Sha'ban in order for it not to be mixed with Ramadan. How can we reconcile between these two hadith? Many of the scholars and most of those who commented on this hadith have said that the man the Prophet was addressing in the first hadith, talking about fasting at the end of the month, he referred to a habit of fasting, right? It was said that this particular man had a habit of always fasting. So it was something that is habitual for him, of always fasting regularly. You understand? Or perhaps he made a vow to say, I will fast throughout this month or something like that. So that was the Prophet asked him, if you have not fasted, then you should fast 2 days, even if it's at the end of that particular month. So this one is clear. Like we said, if somebody is used to doing a particular thing, then it's not wrong, even if you do it, even if it falls at the time that is forbidden. For example, if you are always consistent in praying on our field before your salah, always there's something happen, you are not able to observe the 4 rakah before Asr, for example. You're not able to observe it before the Asr time. You are allowed to observe it even after Asr. Although we are not supposed to pray after Asr, we are allowed to observe it even after Asr because you are consistent. It's not your habit. So when you're unable to do it, you can pay back when you are able to pay back. This is allowed. So the same thing applies. When you are fasting, normally the end of Shaban, the last day of Shaban or the last 2 days of Shaban is forbidden to fast because we have to stop fasting so we can know where Ramadan starts. Now, if you are a person who fasts habitually, maybe 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off, and then it now falls on the last day of Shaban. So the scholar says there's no problem. You can go ahead and fast because that is the habitual fasting of such an individual. I hope I understand all of this grammar I'm speaking of because they are very important matters relating to Shaban and Ramadan. There are some scenarios in which it is permitted to fast at the end of Shaban. One of the scenarios is when a person fasts at the end of Shaban with the intention of being on the safe side and not missing the first day of Ramadan. In fact, this one is not acceptable. This one is forbidden. You must fast only when you are certain that the moon has been sighted. Okay? You must fast only when one is certain that the moon has been sighted. It's not allowed to fast when you are doubting. May I just fast? Why may I not miss some? No. You are only to fast when you are certain that the month has started. This is not allowed. When a person fasts with the intention of fulfilling a vow or making up a day of Ramadan that he missed, or as an act of kafaro and so on, this is permissible according to majority of the scholars. Like I said, if it's a habit, you are fasting on 1 day off, and then it now falls at the end of Shaban, the last day of Shaban, it's allowed for you to fast it. Or it is like a vow. You made a vow that, oh, if something happens to me, I will fast. Then it now falls on the last day of Shaban, and you're allowed to fast it. Or if it's the last Ramadan that you have not finished paying, maybe it's just remaining one, and it is the last day of Shaban, you are still allowed, according to the majority of scholars, to fast it on that. Else, you're not allowed to fast on the last day of Shaban when it's just before Ramadan. Now, okay, when it is purely a voluntary fast, it is not out of it's not out of paying back or just somebody will decide to fast on that day. Then this is regarded as makruh, as not recommended, as disliked, you know, because we have to be able to differentiate between Shaban and Ramadan. So if it's just a voluntary fast, then it is makruh according to some scholars regarding this. Ramadan is supposed to be distinct from Shaban, you know, even with voluntary fasts. So all of these we have mentioned already why we should not fast till the end of Shaban and why it can be done in cases of necessity, such as when one is a habitual fasting person, or when one is making up a vow, or when one is making up a mixed Ramadan fast. We ask Allah to grant us a better understanding of this than it has been said. So at this juncture, we are going to call it a day because we have used this 12:38 already. We are going to call it a day and take questions if you have any questions before we call it a wrap, inshallah. Do you have any questions? No. Okay, in the case of a person who misses, let's say, Ramadan of like 3 years or 4 years or 2 years due to, you know, maybe childbirth, pregnancy, and so like 2 or 3 years, the person is not able to fast at all in Ramadan. Now, after, you know, such a woman is after she finished all the duties, that she has, she now wants to start paying back, and then she's not able to pay back everything completely until the following year Ramadan. What can she do? Because she can pay in a way that is easy for her. You don't have to pay to fast the 3 years fasting once, the 3 months that you have missed once consecutively. No, do it in a way that's easy for you. You can do it one day on, one day off. You can do it every Mondays and Thursdays and say these are the fasts I'm missing. I'm owing rather. I want to fast every Monday and Thursday. You can say, okay, once in a week, twice in a week, 3 times in a month, in a way that is easy for you. La yukalifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. But ensure that you are able to pay back before the next Ramadan. However, if one is not, maybe because there are too many, 3 years or 4 years of Ramadan that you have missed, and sincerely you are paying them, Allah sees that you are paying them, you start it, you are sincere about it, you are conscious about it, you are regular. Maybe you are doing it every Monday and Thursday, you are regular with it, but you have not completed it before the next Ramadan comes. And that this next Ramadan, you are fit to fast this time around. You and your husband have given up, or you have started to raise your pains, to pains up for now, and say, okay, let us relax first. If that is the case, then there is no sin on such an individual, because you miss those fastings due to necessities, pregnancies, and you are sincerely not able to fast. Because if you're able to fast, even in pregnancy, you should fast. But if you're not able to fast based on health grounds, then you can skip the fast and pay back. So when you are now paying back and you are not able to finish paying back till the next Ramadan comes, because you are following a sequence in a way that is easy for you, and you can, in a way that you can cope, then there is no sin on such an individual. But if a person is a lazy person who does not fast, and who, if he was to follow that particular pattern, if you're able to complete it before the next Ramadan, but based on laziness, he does not follow that pattern, well, and he's just lazing around, then this is not permissible. That is not to say that when Ramadan comes again, you should not fast again. What it means that you are sinful, and Allah will hold you accountable for it. That is what it means. You understand? But if one is paying, and one is serious about it, and one is consistent about it, and is continuously doing it, but is not able to finish the whole 4 years or 3 years, as the case may be, before the next Ramadan comes, then alhamdulillah, inshallah, by Allah's will, Allah is a merciful God. Allah can decide to pardon such a person to fast that Ramadan while he still continues paying after the Ramadan. But if one is lazy and one does not make any attempt, and another Ramadan comes, then the person is obliged to fast that Ramadan, bearing it in mind that he has committed a major sin of not paying the Ramadan of the previous month, or previous year, before another one comes in. Wallahu a'lam. Any other questions? Yes, if she can fast, then she should fast. But if she's advised by the doctor based on her health condition not to fast, then she may not fast. But if she's healthy and she can fast, then she should fast. Any other questions? Were they what? Fasting? Yes. Why not? At times of war, the people used to fast. Why not? But remember that the fast is not compulsory on a person who is on a journey. When a person on a journey, person who is traveling, or sick, the Quran mentions Surah Al-Baqarah, right? Those who are on a journey, those who are sick, those who are old, right? The fast is not compulsory on this particular set of persons. However, if at times of war like this, maybe they are on a journey, they are traveling, so they don't want to fast, then this is okay. Okay, this is okay. So if you are on a journey, it means you are on the way, on the road, before you arrive at where you are going. When you arrive, you can fast. For example, if I'm to travel to Auchi and it's Ramadan time, I may not fast on the road. So that day I skip it. Because when I get there, I can't fast again, right? But so from that day, if I'm still in Auchi, the following day I start fasting. I will not say because I'm on a journey, I travel to Auchi. I'm not in Benin, so I will not fast. You understand? So when you are traveling, that day you are traveling, you're on the way, you're on the journey, you should not fast because of the weight of because of the problems of traveling on a traveler. Okay, traveler may need to drink, to eat, and all of that. So Allah makes it easy for you. Now it is not good for you to skip what Allah has made easy for you and to go and to take the hard way. For example, Allah has made it easy for you not to fast when you are traveling. Don't say, no, I can take it. If Allah has given you a way out, then stick to it. It's a way of showing gratitude to Allah. But doing the opposite shows that one is arrogant and one does not need Allah's favors, which is not something good. So it is good that you stick to it and you do what Allah has made easy for you. You see some persons, they don't do qasr. Qasr, the 2 rakah, Allah says shorten your prayers when you are traveling, or a traveler, shorten your prayers, do qasr. Some people don't do qasr. They see it as laziness. And they say, no, I cannot do one, I can do 4. But this is not laziness. It's what Allah has made easy for you. Allah has given you an easy way out. Do it. Any other questions? Within Benin? Like from where to where? Why not? Why not? Why not? When you are traveling, if I'm going to Eboma now, I get Eboma, I pray qasr. I go to Auchi, I pray qasr. I go to Okada, I pray qasr. Yes. Even when I was in Ekberi, when we travel from Ekberi to Auchi, we pray qasr. Okada. Now. Okay. You can have 2 homes actually, but where you are not now, I'm from Ekberi, right? That's my hometown, but I don't stay in Ekberi. Okay, it's not my home. I don't have a home in Ekberi. I don't have a home in Ekberi. You understand? So when I go to Ekberi, I pray qasr. Sorry? If you see it as your home, no problem. It's your home. You can have 2 homes. Yes, you can have 2 homes. But if it's not your home, you don't get the comfort that you get in your home. You don't have. Your condition is like that of a traveler. Okay, then you pray qasr. A traveler below 15. When you are 15 years and above, fasting becomes obligatory on you. Is that not what I'm saying? When you are 15 years, fasting is obligatory. So let me ask you now, when is it not obligatory? Old age? Okay. Yes, there's no particular age when you are not able to fast. I can be 70 and I still have the energy to fast. I can fast. I should fast. But some person can be 60 and they've lost all the hair on their body. They've lost all the veins. They can't even stand properly. Do you understand? So when you are not able to fast, you are now feeling, man, this body don't weak. You understand? There are some old men who don't even eat much again. Their life is all about fasting. Like my grandfather, before he passed away, he was not eating anymore. He was so old that he now became like a child. Like a child. He does not eat what I can eat now. At the time, I was not even eating food. What he was eating was this roasted corn. This one that they fry, right? And granules. So if you put eba in his room, you come and meet it again. He will not eat it because his stomach was now closed. Like that of a kid, of a child. So it's not big anymore. You understand? So the person, you can decide to even fast. He may not be affected if he has a physical strength. Any other questions? Actually, there are some scholars that give particular kilometers that one can travel for before he can pray Qasr. Do you understand? But what the opinion I think is better or best is that when the people in that locality considers that as traveling, then it is traveling, regardless of the distance. When it is considered, according to people of that locality, that when you are moving from this place to this place is traveling, it's understood to be traveling by the people, then it is traveling. Do you understand? That is better. And then you pray your qasr, inshallah. Any other questions? Some of the scholars, yes, there are some opinions that say you should pray qasr as long as you are there until you return. As long as you are not intending to stay there. Do you understand? Whereas there are some that say no, you should stay maximum of 4 days. Whereas the others say maximum of 21 days. And I am more inclined to follow that of 21 days. Meaning after 21 days, you start praying your normal prayers. Now. Yes, there are opinions. I think that is one of the opinions of Imam Abu Hanifa. That even if you stay there for 1 year, if at school, when I was in school in the north, there are persons who prayed qasr throughout the semester, throughout till they travel back to their homes. So there are some opinions like that. But you know, when you are in a place and you're always praying qasr, it means you're not praying in the mosque, you're praying at home. And it is not good that you don't mix up with the Jama'ah. Especially as a man, it is good that you mix up with the Jama'ah. The people know you and you know them. In case of any issue, but if you die, Muslims should bury you, right? But if they don't know you, how do they know what is all happened to you? You understand? So all these are reasons why it is good that you mix up with the Jama'ah, you know. So you pray qasr after a particular period of time, you mix up with the Jama'ah. So some of the scholars said after 4 days, start praying normal. Others said 21 days. Do you understand? Whereas I think Imam Abu Hanifa is the one that says for as long as you are there, it is okay. Allah Mustaan. Any other questions? No. No. It collapsed. You can deceive people, you cannot deceive Allah. You understand? You can deceive people, but you cannot deceive. The Quran says, وَمَا يَخْدَعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسِهِمْ. They do not deceive any other but themselves. So when Allah says, if you are on a journey or you are married, you are sick, you know you are old, you should not fast. Allah, you now know that, oh, I am sick, or this sickness will not allow me to fast. Perhaps I have drugs I have to take in the afternoon. I have drugs that if I miss, I don't take them in the afternoon, I will not, it will affect me, things like that. You know, okay, no problem. The person is sick. That is between him and Allah, or that is between the person and Allah. But that which is apparent, such as covering the hair, wearing a hijab, this is something that is from your Islam. So you must talk to them. You must tell them about what Allah has said about covering the body for the women. Okay? We must not be shy, or we must not fear that our relationship with such persons will break if we tell them the truth. We must tell them the truth. You must. The Prophet said, if you see something that is wrong, correct it with your hand or with your mouth, meaning talk about it, or hate it in your heart. And that is the weakest of them all. So we must correct it. We must talk to them. So may Allah grant her and us hidayah. So if there are no other questions, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the strength and the energy to be here. We ask Allah ta'ala to forgive our mistakes and errors. We ask Allah to grant us the benefit of this night, as we said. Today we did a combination because we want to achieve this talk of Sha'ban and Ramadan at a time. Inshallah, next week our classes will be as they are supposed to be. Except sometimes we can also call for a general class, maybe online, if possible. And so we ask Allah to make it possible for us. Well, next week we'll be online, inshallah. Next week we'll be online. Ramadan is coming. Let us prepare for Ramadan. Prepare for Ramadan and ensure that we do all our, necessary preparations. What will not make us achieve much in Ramadan, please do it. Take care of it now. Allah make it easy for us. Remember, we said that we are going to do some acts of charity in Ramadan, fruit sharing and the rest in the mosque, right? The plan is still on ground. If we have anything to contribute for that, then I think we all have the account details of the organization. Then we can do that. We have not made dua. اللهم ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى إبراهيم إنك الحميد المجيد. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. وسبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.